I don't know if I've made it just the biggest mistake of my life or just, you know, kind of a fun project. Picked me up a 1989 Ford Mustang LX. Oh my God, I am a proud owner of a FOXBODY. If you guys have seen me before or seen any of my stuff, then you know that I actually drive this thing, which is my '08 Nissan 350Z. Very, very different from what I normally drive. A little background on my buying history. The Z was the first and only car that I've ever actually bought, modified, and tracked. So I don't really have a whole lot of experience. And I know that is kind of lame because like I feel like most people have like an average of 7.5 cars. I do not. I have my daily, I have this guy, and then I now have a 1989 Ford Mustang. The Z was actually my daily for the longest time until I started tracking it more and doing more stuff to it and breaking it. Long story short, I wanted another streetable car that I could progress with mostly driving. Also, maybe even possibly drive it to the track and hopefully drive it back. So my only criteria was that it was a rear-wheel drive car, it was around the 200 horsepower to the wheel range, and that I could register it and it wasn't a complete missile. It looked decent, right? Because I was gonna be driving it all the time. And here we are, a FOXBODY later, 1989 FOXBODY LX to be exact. Needless to say, I have never ever had anything within this platform ever. I also have never had a V8. You know, I've only had the Z. You don't even know if you can see that. I pointed, but I don't know. So I kind of want to keep the car as stock as possible for now because I want to just kind of like feel it out, right? I want to get really good with the solid rear axle. I want to get really good with, you know, having not the best tires and this big old brake kit and all this. Because I just want to progress my driving. That's like the biggest thing that I want to do right now. So I'm gonna do a walkthrough of the car. Don't know if you guys really care, but I do. One thing that I really wish that I had done with the Z was actually document the progression of like from when I first had it, when it was stock, to what it is today. So that's one of the big reasons why I'm even doing this. Also, just the progression of my driving, a little bit of history on my driving. So started off with drifting, didn't compete or anything, just, you know, did some drifting, learned, but really early on that I guess path, I found road racing, and so that's when I really started doing more time attack and kind of learning that stuff, and I really like that, like kind of a lot more than drifting, at least when it comes to the competition stuff, just because it's so much more objective. You know, you're timed and all of that based, you know, as opposed to with drifting, it's very subjective. Anywho, that is my driving. Really, the Z is like kind of the only thing that I really drove. I did a NASCAR Enduro series with a front wheel drive Honda Accord, but that I don't quite count that. I guess I could count that, right? Because that's driving. So the plan is that I progress with the car, like I said. I'm gonna keep it as stock as possible and just kind of, you know, move up that way, which is, to me, my opinion, the right way to do it. But everyone, you know, to each his own. With the way that the car sits right now, it has, it's the stock 5.0 that, not that it came in the car, they've rebuilt it. That's what I heard a couple months ago, so we'll see how good that is, because again, don't really have a whole lot of buying experience, so this should be interesting. Hopefully I didn't buy something that's completely blown up. So has a 302, 30 bored over, which apparently is a 306 now. Has 16-inch baby ass wheels. I'm used to like 18, so I'm like, oh my God, how cute. But one cool thing I did not know about the FOXBODY is that it comes under 3,000 pounds just out factory, which, holy moly, that is a super light car. I had no idea. I mean, really, this is a small car.
You're going to be able to find videos on all the cool stuff that FOXBODY has. I'm not really going to talk about that. I'm just going to talk about what this FOXBODY has. So, did not come with these harnesses whatsoever. It did come with this cage though. It's welded in, so that's kind of cool because I was going to go that route anyways. And I ended up having to put in one of my spare harnesses because it didn't have anything. So when I drove it home, I had no seatbelt whatsoever. That was a little sketch. Whoever had this before, for whatever reason, really cared about redoing the entire interior, except for that freaking eyesore. No radio, AC's been ripped out of it, heater, nothing. So that's great. Like, dude, what is up with this Mustang shifter? Like, it's like angled and like just a very odd configuration. Just, I mean, it's an H pattern, but like, just the orientation of the shifter is freaking weird. This little doggy, whatever the freak this is supposed to be the light, and I watched a few different videos, and apparently will burn out and actually cause a fire sometimes. That's fun.
There are a couple things on the body though, I'm just like, what in the world?
like these little dingle-dongs here. So it's a strip. So it's a strip that goes all along the side of the car. It was painted. I think they originally come black, and they're just literally taped, like 3M taped here. And obviously these guys did not last. The guy that had it before me, or even 2 guys ago, I don't know how many guys ago, but one of the people that had it before me, I guess, was in the process of mini tubbing the car. Now, for those who don't know, mini tubbing is where they literally like move the shocks inboard so that, and then they cut out the tub, like where the wheels are, like underneath that area, to be able to, you know, account for way bigger like fatties like dragster tires. Stock location of like the top of the shock would go in here. It is not there, it is here. Now, this job is not really the best. So again, I don't know what exactly was happening and where he was in his project, but it was obviously not finished. He was in the middle of one, because it's not a full mini tub, but it's not even like half of a mini tub. It's like a third of a mini tub. It's kind of cool that it, you know, it's all kind of redone. They moved the battery back here. I don't know if he was actually like drag racing maybe on the weekends or something, but not like anything too crazy. So batteries back here, cage, and then the shocks have been moved inwards. Yeah, here's the other fun part about this. I have to take a look. I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to the whole moving the shocks in and how that's going to interrupt like the kind of the road racing and the other aspects that I'm going to use this car for. So I kind of have to figure that out. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I'm a little nervous about it, not gonna lie. But I don't know if I've made it just the biggest mistake of my life, or just, you know, kind of a fun project. The next thing on this thing is I'm just have to put it up on a lift, start taking a look at it, and really dissect what it is that I just got myself into. Like I said, I really hope that this is just gonna be like kind of a fun project that I could just start driving right away instead of having to work on. You know, when I was buying it, the most I can do was like just kind of look under it as best I could. But again, I don't really know these chassis. I don't really know what I'm looking at. So I just got it, and like it seems pretty structurally okay. There was just a little bit of surface rust, but not really anything crazy. And for it to be a 34-year-old car, I kind of was expecting it to be in worse condition. Quite know exactly what I'm going to do yet. It's not like I've, you know, been dreaming about this moment and of having this Fox body and what I'm going to do. It's mostly going to be function, but of course I want it to look pretty, and I want to make sure that I maintain the integrity of what a Fox body represents and whatnot. I don't want to rice it out or do any of that. Having said that, I am also not in the drag world where I feel like I see the majority of these Fox bodies, so I really don't know what that look is like, and I don't really care to have that look. I'm just gonna do what I need to do to make this thing go faster and handle well, and whatever I have to kind of do along the way for the form part of it, I'm just gonna kind of do. But definitely needs a new paint job. It's actually not too bad. Looks kind of great here, but then you got this freaking eyesore. I think he had a different hood, probably changed it out and all that. Definitely need to get a different seat in this car. This big old honker of a seat is definitely for a nice big boy. And I'm gonna be thrown around the first time I ever throw that into a corner. So definitely a seat. So I'm gonna get it into the shop. Probably gonna lift it up, start taking a look at everything, check to see the brakes, power steering, where I think it's leaking from, diff, and all that other good stuff. I will probably see you guys in the next video. I will have I'll probably have it up on Jack's. Till the next time, I will see you guys. Make sure to do all the things on social media, like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff.